Yeah, remember those questions you already copied them out. Just follow me as them on the board, yeah? Okay. Right, let's go for it. Bismillah. Okay, folks, welcome back. We're looking at some more questions, adding mixed fractions based on the basic skills book. We're looking at questions today that involve slightly different type of answers to the ones we had before, meaning we'll have some, the second part of the fraction will be top heavy to show you how to deal with those particular questions. So, here we go. We have 1 and 5/6, add 2/3. The first question. So as we said before, we deal with the whole number separately and the fraction bit separately. Here we only have one whole bit, which is the 1. So that just gets copied down. Okay, next, to that 1 we're going to add the 5/6, which was there originally, and then the 2/3. So this had no whole number part here, just that whole number part. So we got 1 here. We're going to add these two fractional parts. So now what we're going to do, we look at the numbers on the bottom, we think, can I make this 6 into a 3? And the answer is no, we can't make the 6 into a 3, but we can make the 3 into a 6 by multiplying by 2. So we're trying to make the bottom numbers the same. So I'm making this number into that number by timesing by 2. Now let's have a look what that gives us. So we now have 1, that stays the same. 2 times by 2 will give you 4, and 3 times by 2 will give us 6. Okay, Lily, you got that so far? Happy with that? Now, in this next part of the question, we have 1, this is the whole number part. We're going to add these two fractional parts. The bottom number, as long as the bottom is the same, we only add the top numbers. Only add the top numbers. So 5 add 4 will give us 9. The bottom number gets copied across, and we put the 1 down here. Now we have to look at this question, answer, and say to ourselves, have we finished? Well, the question's finished, but we need to simplify the answer because 9/6 can be simplified. And we simplify them by, well, first of all, it's top heavy. So you have 9 divided by 6. 9 divided by 6. 9 divided by 6 is the 1 remainder, 3. So 9/6 is equal to 1 and 3/6. Okay? Right, now before we go any further on that particular line of thought, let's have another approach to it. Let's simplify it first and then do that. Because we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do both processes anyway. So this can be simplified. So Layla, 9 divided by 3 is?
3.
And 6 divided by 3 is?
2.
2. So we've done the easy part first. Simplified it. Now we got 3 divided by 2 is a top heavy fraction. So we wouldn't ever use an answer as 1 and 3/2. That doesn't make any sense. So that 3/2, that 3/2 here. Right, let's get this. Let's get rid of this one here. So let's choose a different color. So 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1, remainder 1. And then copy the 2 in the bottom. So this part here is worth that. So the final answer, final answer is going to be 1, add 1.5, because this is worth 1.5. So 1 add 1.5 is equal to 2.5. So remember, when you do a question like this, you cannot leave the answer with the top heavy part in the fraction part. You must give your answer in the simplest possible format. So this itself is worth 1.5. Okay? So that 1.5 adds to that 1 to give us altogether 2.5. And that question is done. Let's move on to the next question. So we have 1 and 4/5 add 2 and 2/3. So we're going to use the same technique that we just mentioned. We're going to deal with the whole numbers first. Add them first. So this whole number 1, then add 2 will give us 3. And what we got left over, we got 4/5 add the 2/3. Okay, now we've got to ask ourselves the same question. Can the 5 become a 3? And the answer is no. Can the 3 become a 5? And the answer is no. So they can't become each other at the moment. So what we do in that particular instance is we multiply each bottom number by the other bottom number. So the 5 gets multiplied by 3 top and bottom, and the 3 gets multiplied by 5 top and bottom. And the purpose of this is to make the bottom numbers the same, so or we call it equivalent fractions. So now let's move on to the next line. So the 3 gets copied down. So we have 4 times by 3, that will give you 12 over 15. 2 times by 5 is 10. 3 times by 5 is 15. Okay. So you got 3 at these 2 bits. So later, what's 12 at 10? Remember when we doing the fraction question, we never ever add the bottoms.
It's 22.
So the top part is 22 and the bottom part will stay as
15.
15. But we look at this answer over here, Layla. This is my answer at the moment so far. Have we finished the answer or can we do something with this? What kind of fraction is this here, this part? This part is called a top-heavy fraction or an improper fraction. Okay, the top number is bigger than the bottom. Now, can you divide it by anything? And the answer to that one is no. There's no number that we can divide both this by. So we just change it from top-heavy to mixed. So 22 divided by 15 is what it says. So if we do 22 and we divide it by 15, the answer will be 1 whole, remainder 7. So how many 15s go into 22? 15 will fit into 22 once and have 7 left over. So this part here alone is worth 1 and 7 over 15. Okay? Okay, so this part alone was 1 and 7 15s. Now we're going to combine this 3 with this. And that should be nice and straightforward. So later, what's 3 add 1?
4.
4. And what's 4 and 7 over 15? Is simply just put them together and that gives you an answer of 4 and 7 15ths. Okay? Because you've got a whole number 4, add the 7 15 gives you 4 and 7 15ths. Okay. Okay folks, thank you for joining us on this extra 2 questions in this next video. Please join us back. We'll be looking at how we take away fractions and also mixed fractions. Okay, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, if you find the video helped you, please pass on the link to your friends and family so spread the benefit. Thank you.